Proper accent. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Graybeards. My name is Wayne, and to my left over here's a good friend, Bug. How you doing this morning, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Hey, fall is in the air. Fall is
Yeah,
here.
it is in the air.
36 degrees out there, Elgin,
Yeah,
South Carolina.
yeah. It's Sunday morning. What is it outside?
Well, my phone said 36. It may be behind time, but
I
it
don't
said
know. I didn't even
36.
look at the weather. I'm gonna look right now and see what it says. It says it's 40 here.
Okay, maybe it warmed up since I looked at it. The last time I looked at it, it was 36 degrees.
Yeah,
But the sun
yeah,
is high right now, so it has a warming effect.
yeah.
It's kind of like it
It's
now.
I can see the over the trees out. If I look out outside there, the sun coming up.
Yeah, man. This time of the
Yeah,
year, when I was growing up, it would be
yeah.
cold down in Georgia. I'd be out with my pump shotgun, squirrels jumping from branch to branch.
yeah,
You hit limbs as he fell down to the ground.
yeah,
You put them
that
in a
would be.
bag, keep going.
When I was growing up, we were in the city. I was a city guy.
Mhm.
For then moved to the suburbs, I guess, and then we moved out into my last 2 years in high school. We lived out in the country.
Gotcha.
I loved
Gotcha.
it. I loved being out
Gotcha.
there. It was great. But you know that
Hmm.
we didn't. I probably said this before on this show, and it kind of walk into what we were going to talk about was growing up getting government assistance. Right,
Hmm.
we got the big block of. Well, it was big to me. It could have been this big. I don't know. When I was small and young, it was a big block of cheese. It was government cheese, right?
Right, right.
Government cheese, powdered milk. I think we had regular. You could get regular milk too. I can't remember. We always had milk. So
Hmm.
I'm a big milk drinker. I still am today. I've cut back a lot, but then we had some styrofoam cereal and stuff like that. But it was a lot of the basic necessities of, you know, food, I guess,
Yeah.
flour,
And
oatmeal. You could get all this stuff to make food, but you couldn't. I think there was only certain and eggs. We always had eggs and stuff like that.
mhm.
Stuff that was you know part of the
Yeah.
program, if you will. From what I understand, I don't know. I have never personally had to be on it, thank God.
Hmm.
Uh, but
I mean, like since you've been an adult, you've never had to. You didn't need it. You know what I'm saying? You elevated your
I
position.
probably, we probably could have uh,
Qualified?
qualified for it as a young airman. When my wife, we didn't have any children, so
Hmm.
no, we weren't going to qualify. We didn't have children we didn't have children, and well, we had our first child. We were both fairly young when we had our first child. We might have
Hmm.
qualified for some.
Yeah, I heard there was staff sergeants or E5s in the military that was getting government assistance,
Mhm.
I don't know if they was getting money, but it was they eligible to get food or whatever. But so
Yeah.
not 100% sure, but I heard that.
Yeah, but it was a temporary thing. They set limits, and it wasn't enough to live on. And I said this, I think, in the last show that they were getting. I've seen people that they show how much they were supposed that these people were getting, and it's
Hmm.
more than my retirement from the military, or just about as much
Really?
every month. Like 14, some are depending. I guess it depends, right? I've seen some where it was like $1,400. Another one was $2,400. I was
Talking
like.
food or we talking what are
Yeah,
we
well,
talking about?
in whatever the SNAP program, EBT, whatever it is that they get, the
Yeah,
dollar amount that they're getting.
right.
Um,
What does that
I was like, I
mean?
don't think I spend that much on food. Of course, it's just the wife and I every month.
Right.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah. SNAP program. I'm just kind of curious. I don't know. I mean, I just thought it was in my mind. I thought SNAP was just, you get about $400, you know what I'm saying, to buy some food, but I really don't know. What it means is supplemental nutrition assistance program. So
It's supposed to be
what
an
I'm thinking,
assistance, not total provisions,
supplemental is the key word, right?
Yeah.
This is to supplement, your ability to get nutrients. So we're assisting you with this nutrients, right? Getting
hmm
food. Um, let's see. The highest income to qualify for SNAP depends on household size.
hmm
Generally being 130% of the federal poverty line. For a household of four, the gross monthly income limit is $3,483, or about $41,000 annually.
Yeah. So if you make over that, you're not going to qualify.
Right. And if SNAP takes you over that, I guess you won't. But this can be higher in states with broader eligibility rules.
hmm
Hmm.
That's what I mean. So I know
Such as
it's
California. California, you get more. So you move out there, you get more. But the cost of living is more. You know what I'm saying? But okay. All right.
sure it is.
We
Yeah.
don't want to burn too many units on this, but household of two, a 2,292 gross monthly income, for 27,000 annually. But anyway, they just tell you how much money you can make, but they're not telling me.
How much their benefit would be. I guess there's probably because there's
Well,
too
it might
many
be, it look like it's
variables.
$596. You know what I'm saying? Add
Yeah.
approximately 596 to the gross monthly income for each additional member. Dang, so it could go up there. I mean, we might want to get smart, but it looked like it could equate to a lot of money, depending on
Yeah.
your household size. If it's five, I'm thinking maybe I'm misrepresenting anybody out there in TV land that
Mm.
want to educate us to SNAP thing. Maybe we should have been better prepared to talk about it. But
Well, that's the thing.
nevertheless,
Well, the thing is we're not going to get into numbers, but I know it's a lot of money.
right. And
Um,
where's this money coming from?
in comparison to what, say, even what Social Security is, right? For most,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
if I'm just living on Social Security by myself, where's my SNAP, right?
yeah.
Right?
Maybe they get it.
If they have kids, maybe I don't know. If they have dependents, you got to have so many dependents on that. I just don't know how. I mean, Social Security is a whole nother. That's a whole nother show we could do on,
Mhm.
because my dad, that's all he has. He has Social Security, and I think gets $100 or hundred and some dollars from a pension that my mom had. Um, um,
Yeah.
so it's, in his Social Security, I don't know what he actually gets. I know it ain't a lot, but that's all he gets, right? He has no
Mhm.
IRA, he has no 401k, he has no nothing, right? And I
Mhm.
know he's not the only one out there at his age. My dad's 86 that that's all they have, right?
Mhm.
There was no money to put away in his, he was a high school, not to put his air his dirty laundry, but he worked his entire life. He worked up until he was 83 years old. And then he just physically couldn't do the job that he had done all his life. So,
Mhm.
but we're it's back to the SNAP thing. And again, everybody, I just want you to I'm gonna preface this is that we're just trying to understand this whole, is it worth shutting the government down for one? And it isn't just about SNAP. There's other things that this whole government shutdown is dealing with, right? Has stuff to do with um, Medicaid or Medicare, one of those,
Mhm.
funding, these programs that the government taxpayers, when I say the government, I'm talking about you and me and everybody else that may be listening or watching this show, is that we're paying this in our taxes every year. And it's gotten to a point where what we're paying in taxes doesn't cover the bill. hence the 37.6 or whatever trillion dollars of debt that this country has.
And
I mean, basically, I think what has happened is that the government is broke and they're trying to, you know, we got to cut some of the stuff, right? Something has to cut. And everybody's like, why aren't we cutting this? Why are we cutting this and not cutting that? You know, you talk about military spending, you talk about everybody should have this health care. The Canadians do it, right? They have a government um, healthcare system. My sister says, "Oh, she loves it." I said, "Well, that's because that's all you know. You know, you love it because that's all you know." And I think, and I said this before. I think I said it in the last show. I was excited about Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act, as it's officially known, that it would reform healthcare costs in this country. But what it ended up doing is the government was subsidizing these costs at taxpayers' expense, right? Nobody knows that. Nobody understood that. Nobody knew how does this work? No, because the Affordable Care Act is hundreds of pages of whatever, right? When they did it, and it's turned out to be not as good as we had hoped it to be.
in my opinion, you don't have to be that smart to figure things out, right? And just for example, if let's just say this here, if you're a mother, father, parents, or whatever, if you want to become educated, all you got to do is monitor yourself, right? When you go to the grocery store, you go out shopping with your kids, and your kids are like, I want the big box of Cheerios. I want this pair of tennis shoes. I want. And guess what? You have to say, no, you're
Yeah,
not getting that. That's government 101. That's
yeah.
simple. You
As
don't need
parent,
to go to college to figure this stuff out or have some dude on TV tell you this thing. Just monitor your own behavior. Okay?
mm-hmm, yeah,
No, you're not getting that. No, you're not. We're going to get what we need and some of what we want. Period.
yeah,
Now, the kids are like these recipients out here. They don't know the origin of this money. You do. Taxpayers knows the origin of this money. Hey, my check has decreased, has diminished by $200 or $300.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? See, because you're shelling this money out and somebody's making you do it. Okay. Now, these kids, just look at the fact the kids don't know where the money coming from. All they know is what they want. And their want in their little minds is a need. I need that little dinosaur to play with. You don't understand the stress you know what I'm saying? You don't understand what it's like not to have this darn thing, but the parents do. Oh, look who just submerged. So you don't have to go that far. You don't have to, you want to know what it's like to be a taxpayer? Monitor yourself. If you got children, they're the best examples. We want this, we want the new Jordans, we want the iPhone 25 or
yeah.
whatever's out there. We want this. Okay. And you're gonna go broke trying to do it. That's what America's doing. They're going broke trying to take care of individuals. Now, you bad boys that's receiving it, there's some of you guys in a perpetual situation where you're always going to need it. I have no issue with that. You know,
Yeah, I
it
mean, if
ain't that
you,
many people in that situation.
well,
You got
that's
some people mentally in that situation. Oh, I
yeah,
get to get this free money. I'm
yeah.
going to keep getting this free money. And you throw out terms like white man's racist. Yeah. Hey, yeah, we
That,
should be getting. They took land from the Indians. Yeah, that's right. They held us back. Yeah, that's right. We should get. And I'm not blaming this all on black people by no stretch of the imagination. They're not. Hey, there's 100 million poor white people out there that receive these
you don't
benefits.
hear about them. They don't
No, no,
exist.
they don't get in the airplane. But
Yeah,
they draining this. They own it too. They getting this money. They're not
yeah,
getting the representation,
no,
but
yeah,
they're getting these benefits. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Now, I don't
absolutely.
know. because I don't know much about them. I don't know if they're using it for a little while and getting off, or they like thinking like everybody else. I don't know, but just
Well,
know
that's it.
that it's
They
what's
you we talked a little bit earlier. That was one of the things. It was a what I wrote down here that it was. That's what they were taught, right? That's all they know. It's like cyclic, right? My parents were on assistance at one point, but that was it. It was just a short whatever, you know, short period of time. It wasn't my entire childhood growing up. And I give my parents a lot of credit, for getting off of that. But that's because the government said, "Oh, you're making too much money. You don't get it anymore." They didn't sit there and go, "Oh, I got to quit my job. I can't. I want to keep my government benefits." Right? They kept working, right? And a lot of people, I feel, and this may not be the case, there's certain circumstances, however you got into that position, that you were, have to rely on the government for your sustenance. Daycare, so you take, I hate to say this, but I have to say it, they're unskilled labor. Get these people, while they're doing this, they can't afford, they can't afford the daycare cost. I don't know if you've seen what daycare, if I'm a single parent, I can't just go to work. Someone's got to watch my children,
hmm
right? And how am I supposed to get a job that'll make money so I can support them and still provide the um, care and supervision needed for my young children, right?
yeah,
And they're like, well, that's not my problem. You know,
yeah.
government should be helping me, and they do with this.
Why? Well, okay. What even with that being said, the government should be helping me.
Yeah,
That's a mindset, right?
it is.
The government is
Key
supposed to
word
help me.
there is the government should be helping me, and it's like,
Okay, I
help.
appreciate what the government does. I appreciate what the American people do, to help individuals. That we got legislators out there that's like, yo,
Mhm.
let's help the poor. But poor people, remember, this is assistance, okay? Remember that.
They don't
I'm
look
gonna
so
be
poor. I mean, I see these people, and I think some of them are, what do you call it? I don't know if it's catfishing or whatever. They're living in it. I mean, I look what they're living, right? They're living in a nice house. I got a little trailer here I live in, and I'm like, your house is just as nice, if not nicer than mine. How are you qualified for SNAP or
yeah,
even any government? How are you living in this opulent,
yeah. It's
Now,
lifestyle.
granted,
You know,
that may not be the case for the majority of people that are living in, a little 3 bedroom, 2 bedroom apartment, HUD home, whatever you want to call it. Let's face it, HUD housing is not the nicest. And if it was nice, a lot of the tenants end up trashing it,
mhm,
because they don't care. It's not theirs, right? They don't want to put anything into something that's not gonna be theirs, right?
mhm. Yeah. I
Um,
came up in an age, man, where there was all right, this is what I saw growing up. My daddy went to work every day. Well, that's a lie. Yeah, at least 5 days a week, maybe 6 days a week.
mhm,
Same thing with my mom. They both worked. Pops was very frugal with his money. He's spending, teaching us to save and all this kind of stuff. Nope, you're not getting Cocoa Pops and Cheerios. You're not getting
mhm.
both of those. We got to save, we got to save, we got to save. I didn't understand that when I was a child, but when I got on my own, got my own family, I was like, oh, I became woke. And I was like, okay, I got to do what he did. Now I appreciate what he did. There was no subsidized stuff coming into our house. We was fortunate, you know what I'm saying? But I think if you work and you live within your means, you can grow. That's just it. That's what you got to
Yeah,
do. I get, I'm military, I'm retired, I get money from the government. However, I still work a full-time job and I work a part-time job, which I go out and cut grass and stuff like that. Not because I need to, it's because it's in me to work and I need to put away money for a rainy
yeah,
day. My job could go away at any time. That government money could go away. Case in point, we got the government shutdown. At some point reach me. I need to realize that none of us are safe if our government is $38 trillion in debt.
yeah,
Whatever free money you're getting can go away, you know?
yeah.
So learn how to work, manage your resources, make wise decisions. That's it. That's it. That's
Yeah,
all I can tell you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the whole thing, what else did I write down here? I can't even remember. They thought this was they've been on it so long, people that are receiving these benefits, that
Mhm.
it's become in their mind an entitlement. I'm entitled to this assistance, right?
You're supposed to. Yeah. And I told you a little story about that. I'll try to be brief. I wanted this guy to succeed more than he wanted to succeed, to the point where I was giving this guy a ride. I would leave my house, drive 40 miles, pick him up, drive another 40 miles to drop him off at work, get out of my bed and go get him from work, take him home, and then
Yeah.
come back to my house and try to get about 2 hours of sleep. He took advantage of that situation.
And this was all of your cost, right? He didn't assist you
Yeah,
with
all
did
my
he
costs.
get
He didn't give me one dime
for
to do that, to do
not
what I was doing.
yeah,
He would say, "Thank you."
yeah,
And that sufficed in his mind and his conscience, you
yeah.
know. So what woke me up was one night when I picked him up from work one morning. I doggone, he got in my car. He tilted the seat back to the farthest extent that it could go. Because he was borderline sleep himself, in the prone position, I should say. And I'm dry. He didn't like stay awake and alert. Hey man, I know you just got out of bed. Hey man, you've been working a job and all this kind of stuff. He didn't even care. All he cared about was faster essay. You know what I'm saying? That's all he cared about. You know what I'm saying? You need to get me
Yeah,
home quicker than what you're doing.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
became woke and I said, hey man, let your seat up. We need to have a conversation. He sat up. I said, bro, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna take you to work one more time. This one don't even count. I'm gonna come get you one more time. After that, Holmes, I'm
hmm
not coming to get you. And I don't care what happens to you. Okay? Because you took advantage of this assistance that I was giving. I became the way.
hmm
He is my mode of transportation. He was oblivious. He didn't care what I was doing, how much money I was spending, the tires, the gas, leaving my family. He didn't care. All I want is what I want. So I told him, and I did. I did exactly that. You've reached the bottom of the pit, my friend. You have made me say what I was thinking.
yeah. It's
Bravo.
like, yeah, thanks for
Now we're
giving me
here.
the out.
You gave it to me, baby. And that's what it was. I'm out. And I did not care about this dude anymore.
Yeah.
I ignored his
And
phone calls.
and that's what I think it's come to when you say I did not
Hmm.
care about him anymore.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
goes back to the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
So,
in this picture you see this animal in this picture, right?
yeah, like a wolf or something.
It is. It's a wolf. This
Hmm.
is in Yellowstone. That
Okay.
picture. That wolf,
Hmm.
if he doesn't go out or she doesn't go out and get its own food,
Dies.
it dies. It gets up every day going, I gotta feed myself. I gotta get
If they
out
got
and
cooked.
do what I gotta do so I can feed myself. And if they have any
Hmm.
little pups or whatever, they're gonna die.
They're
They
gonna
will
die.
suck, they will suck every last nutrient out of their
Their
parents.
mama. Yeah.
hmm And
Hmm.
I'm not advocating that you don't have children, but you have to be, you know, responsible parents,
Yeah.
right?
Some folks milk, no pun intended. I'm going to have children so I can
Hmm.
get more benefits.
Yeah,
That's wrong.
I'm
You
not, I'm
don't do
not,
that.
I'm not versed enough in the Bible, but it's, it states in there about loving thy neighbor, right? That's like number two. Number one is
Hmm.
the man
Love
abstains,
me,
right?
love God. Yeah.
Hmm. And the
Love your
second
neighbors
one,
yourself.
I don't know where it is in the Bible, but I know it's in there.
Yeah.
At some point, when you love thy neighbor as you take care of them as as family, your neighbor. But when you can't take care of yourself, at some point, you know,
Mhm.
something's got to give, right?
Yeah. I'll say this here. If you're getting SNAP or whatever kind of subsidy that's out there, use it for what its intended purpose is for you to be on it till you get on your feet and be able to take care of yourself.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Always strive to take care of yourself because you don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, you get a new
Nobody's
regime in
gonna.
there,
Yeah,
they was gonna be like, yo, man, I ain't giving you mugs nothing. You got a
but
mug in.
yeah, but they think that they're thinking that getting this government snap, however they do it, whether it be legally or not legally, whatever they got to do to milk the system,
Mhm.
that they do that is happening. And I don't think that's everybody, right?
Yeah, there's some people on a lot, probably a lot that's on
Yeah.
there that's like using it for what it's supposed to be. Just like that little scenario I gave you about the guy that was SNAP.
Hmm.
I was providing him SNAP.
A little supplemental
Yeah,
each.
a
Yeah.
sacrifice. That was my sacrifice, my contribution.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed. God has blessed me. I can help this guy.
Yeah.
But once I found out he was taking advantage of the situation,
Yeah. That he was not trying to improve his
he was not
situation.
trying to improve his
Yeah.
situation.
It's
That's like,
like you're
nah, bro,
like, I'm done, dude. I can't continue to
I'm
do
totally
this.
done. It takes a lot to get me there, but he did it.
Yeah.
He
And that's
figured
a,
out my 17-digit code
yeah, I was going to
and he
say,
opened the
because
vault.
I've known you a long time and you're probably one of the most easygoing, nicest people I've ever met in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I try, man. I try to
and
understand people's plight.
as much as we tease you, we love you. And it's one of those things, man. You are, um, you're a treat, man. I tell you, we just,
Hey, man. Hey, it is what it is. With that, to be like that, man, you gotta have I see myself as having I understand stuff. You know what I'm saying? I understand it maybe even to a fault. You know what I'm saying? So with that, folks do come to me with their issues, their problems and stuff, whatever they got. Even my dad come in and tell me weird stuff.
But yeah,
And then
but
they're
that's
like,
good. That's
yeah, I was
good. I
like,
mean, it's good
yeah,
to be um, the
I get it.
fixer, you know.
But yeah, shoot, man, all you got to do, you don't have to be educated at all. Like he pointed to that wolf back there.
Mm,
If you don't remember anything else from this video, remember that darn wolf. He got to hunt.
mm,
There's not a helicopter dropping food off of this mug. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And if he would be a dumb wolf if he accepted that. You know what's gonna happen? He's gonna become dependent on that darn helicopter. And then when that helicopter, well, we can no longer afford fuel to get this food out here, that wolf is gonna starve because it then lost its natural ability to hunt. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? So and that's you. If you're receiving this, you kick back watching the Young and the Restless every day. Your ability or will or desire to work is gone.
yeah.
That's why I
Well,
keep working.
yeah. Well, they don't want to give up that benefit, right? They'll do whatever it takes. It's like being a crack addict. They're going to do whatever they can to get their next fix, right?
And
Um,
you let somebody, yeah, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use it, but I'm going to use it to, hey man, this money needs to go in the bank or
but
whatever. If I'm going to pimp the darn system, I'm going to go in there with a mindset knowing this is going to end. Okay.
yeah,
Don't just blow this money like it's gonna last forever. If you're gonna cheat, know how to cheat,
yeah. They're
And I'm
doing
not
it.
telling you to cheat.
And that's the thing. They're doing it to. I mean, it's like they're just like it's never going to end, and I don't think I don't, I really truly want to believe that there are people that truly need this. have a
Yeah, of
value to
course.
me and they're doing it the right way. But all I'm seeing, all you're being shown is the people that are, in my mind, taking advantage of the system, right?
And all right, let's go back to their handlers. Okay, we didn't even address those bad boys. Their
Oh my
handlers,
goodness.
the ones that's
Yeah,
like, son, give me this money. Okay, all right, that $596 per child or whatever it is you're getting, right?
yeah,
They just want your vote. I mean, they just want you to go in that freaking voting booth and put this check mark on this block by their
yeah.
name, and
So
we're
they
going
can
to
get
continue this
so
thing.
so they can get their SNAP program.
Well said, my man. So they
Yeah,
can get their SNAP. Their SNAP
yeah,
is a lot bigger than your SNAP. They're going
yeah.
to get a huge SNAP.
Yeah,
We're going to keep
so
feeding you guys. We're going to keep doing it. The weird thing, though, this is the weird thing. A lot of Dang, I probably better not say this, but there are some groups that receive SNAP that vote against SNAP. That's weird. They're getting it, but we're voting against it. But y'all figure out who those ones are. But this is weird. We're gonna take it, because it's available. But we don't think we should be getting it. So,
well,
uh,
that's the thing. They need to. I mean, obviously, it should be a. There's going to be. We all know there's exceptions to every rule, right? And
Mhm.
that. Um,
What are they? I mean, really though, you think about it though. Maybe they're all not voting against their best interests. Maybe some of these bad boys are voting for SNAP, maybe secretly, however. But
mm,
yeah, keep this junk going. Maybe it's human nature. I don't know. I don't know. I have to do a deep dive on that one.
yeah,
But just remember, it could run out. You see
yeah.
this gray hair on my face?
Mm,
Stuff
I
is
do.
running out.
Time is
That
running
means
out.
stuff is
This is.
my life is running out. My life
Yeah,
is being depleted. I'm
yeah.
running out. I
I
used to go
got.
bench press like
I
400
got. I
pounds.
got more gray than.
Yeah. There's a little bit of life in this thing.
Me
You know
too. I
what I'm
got a
saying?
little bit.
Even
Yeah.
my eyebrows. Death is going up. You know what I'm
This is
saying?
just in the last. Well, we've been doing this about a year and a half now.
Yeah.
You're my eyebrows don't have any gray in them yet. Them
Yeah.
caterpillars are like hanging on, man. They're like, nope.
They're hanging on there. I have the
I
ability to
see.
change these
I
bad
s-
boys back, but it won't be real.
no, it won't be real
You know what I'm
now.
saying? Next time y'all see me, they probably may be black since we spoke on it. Just remember, man,
You
death.
had talked about doing that.
Hey, death is coming. You know what I'm saying? So I better get what I can while I'm strong, while I still have there's some sap in this there in these limbs. Because
Yeah,
there's gonna become a time where I can't work.
yeah,
And then they're gonna be like, hey, I don't know what them young people gonna do. They might be in euthanasia. They might like, hey, kill all the old people. Them jokers are useless. I don't know what they gonna do. But if I got some money, maybe I can stave it off a little bit.
yeah. Maybe.
So don't get comfortable, okay? Don't and just know your handlers, a true parent, a true parent. Taught my daughters to work.
Yeah,
Don't work. I never told them to chill out, take advantage of this. You're black, you entitled to whatever. I didn't know. I'm oblivious to that. You need to work. Okay.
yeah,
And I'm just saying it. I'm a black man. I'm on this show. I've heard a lot of stuff. In my growing up, seen a lot of things. But one principle is true. If you work regardless of your color, you'll be all right.
yeah.
You'll be
Facts, facts.
okay. All
On that
right.
note,
So,
we got about 4 minutes left.
yeah,
Let's
go to
change.
work.
Let's change it up a little bit. What do you think Dallas's chances this week, tomorrow or today? They play today, right?
No, they
Yeah.
play tomorrow.
You play
They play
Monday
the
night.
Monday night game. Yeah, they try to keep the
Yeah.
boys on prime time TV.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. As a loyal Dallas Cowboy fan, I'm hopeful. I'm hoping they well. Always hope they win. I
All
can't
right. You
boldly
always want them
predict
to
it.
do well, right?
Yeah, I can't boldly predict that they're gonna beat the Cardinals because their defense is horrendous. Game arguing against that.
Yeah.
It's terrible. They can't stop anybody. To win the game, you got to stop your opponent from scoring.
Yeah.
Dallas can't
That's
do
a
that.
that's a fact. Um, Steelers are going against the Colts. My bro
It's
fam
gonna be
is a
interesting.
my bro fam. Eric is a Colts fan. Kyle's a Colts fan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, KB, we got to mention KB on the
Yeah,
show, right?
we almost missed the show, KB.
Yeah, you guys are
We got
blowing
you.
up my. I couldn't do nothing yesterday. My phone was constantly
I know we was doing it.
You guys just going nuts. I
Gator
saw
fan,
I
man.
saw your dogs barely squeaked out a win.
We had
Uh,
a little help from our friends, but we won.
at least you can admit that, right?
Hey man,
The
like I said, I'm a realist, man. That's all it is. I like my team, love my teams or whatever, but I'm gonna be real about them. I'm not just gonna
yeah,
just arrogantly just boast on these money
yeah,
and there's no substance.
yeah, yeah.
I'm hopeful with
I
Dallas.
don't have high hopes for my Steelers. I will root for them to win, but if they do, they
Hmm.
do. If they don't, they don't. It
Yeah,
wasn't meant to be, right?
yeah.
They're struggling defensively. We'll see.
Hmm.
Penn State,
Yeah.
at least they scored on Ohio State. It wasn't a shutout. I mean, I didn't expect them to win the game. It would have been nice if
Hmm.
they kept it close. They tried.
Hmm.
Their quarterback's out. Penn State is pretty much done for the year. They fired their
Yeah.
coach.
Hmm.
Sad,
Yeah. Yeah.
sad state of affair.
Yeah. That's true. I know they're in disarray right now. It happens. It
Yeah.
happens to all teams, man. You lose your
Well,
quarterback, key player, whatever. Stuff
yeah.
happens. I get
Well,
it.
I'll tell you.
I'm gonna give you some grief because I
Well,
can, but
I expected. I expected.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but I will say this about college football is SNAP. It is not the same as it used to be with all this money. NIL has ruined college football. Um, it is
Mm.
it is now the minor leagues for the NFL. It's like it really is because
It is.
and there's no loyalty.
Yeah. We got to what next week, next time we come on, we got to talk about the machine.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
we will.
and the machine is the mechanism that causes all this stuff, right? From
Yeah,
top to bottom. I'm gonna throw a little piece out there about it. The machine,
the machine,
aka the Matrix.
the money machine. It's all about the
Yeah,
money anymore. It
it's
ain't
all
about
about the money.
being, your
Yeah.
team. It's saying it might as well be like, a lot of people didn't like the NFL because it's all about the money. But on that note, we got less than a minute. Thanks for
Hmm.
watching, everybody. I hope you have a great week and God bless.
God bless you guys. Hey, thanks for watching. Send us
Thanks for
some
watching.
educators, South
Yeah,
Carolinians.
put them comments. Please like it, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything and tells us you like what we're saying. Take care, everybody, and have a great week.